Today we're going to look at more moon anomalies from some video I shot yesterday, May 2nd. All right, we're going to look at a series of 4 pictures and then blow-ups of each picture. So here's the first one, and we'll just kind of zoom in on some areas and talk about what we see. So this one, if you look at this central large crater, there's a very pyramid-shaped object, and we're going to focus on pyramids and triangles today, by the way. So that one, you can even see the shadow cast is a very clear-cut triangle or pyramid shape. So that was the first object. And the second object, this is in the lower part of the main picture. Look at the triangle there at the base at about 7 or 8 o'clock on that crater. Very triangular shape, but then if you study that picture carefully, you may see some other triangular shaped objects as well. So then we move to the upper portion of the original frame. And there's a lot of interesting things going on in this picture. Notice at about 5 o'clock on that large dark crater in the upper right, there's an elevated triangle there, and it even looks like it has a dome right in the center of it. So a very interesting object. So here's the second picture, and we're going to do the same thing, study pictures from different areas and see what we see. So let's start off with this area here. In the center of the picture, you see that triangular shape. You can even make out the triangle, the 3 points of the triangle there if you look carefully, and what looks like maybe a ball on the top of that triangle. So very interesting. And this would be huge. You know, this is a crater that's maybe 50 or 60 miles across. So we're talking about miles across pyramid. All right, there's the triangle again. And this one, it even looks like there's some kind of a rectangle in the lower left part of that triangle. So very interesting. And if you look carefully, you might see a couple other objects there I'm not going to take time to talk about. All right, this upper portion of the picture is really the most fascinating to me. So I'm just going to let you soak some of this one in. This has got a lot of resolution and detail to it. So look carefully at that picture. You'll see some things that are very unique. Don't forget to look at shadows as well as objects. All right, so then the third picture we're going to study. Again, this is all from the same evening of moon watching. So when we zoom in, here's the big triangle at the bottom, and again you can see that rectangular thing at the lower left of that triangle. But also look at it, almost looks like that triangle has huge walls. We're talking a huge object, but look around it and you'll see other objects as well that are very interesting. So the second picture here has got the pyramid in the center of that large crater, or they call it a crater. And you can see it casting a very sharp shadow in this picture. It's a little later, so the angle is a little different, I guess, but pretty interesting picture and certainly looks pyramid in shape. And then we're going to look at this picture, and we're actually looking at a couple of different items in this last picture. And I think you'll be, at least I was fascinated. Look in the upper right-hand portion of this picture, and you're going to see a clearly defined X. Look at that dark X at about 4 or 5 o'clock on that pyramid, but also look at the shapes in the center of the pyramid, what looks almost like an S, as well as a couple other things that are interesting. And again, there is the triangle at the bottom of that picture, but look around that area, you'll see other triangular objects as well. So pretty interesting image and a lot of interesting structure there to look at. If you want to pause these, you can to get more detail. There's the big one that looks pyramid shaped to me. This one's not quite as clear in that area of the image, but look just at about 11 o'clock on that same crater. Look at the weird patterns in the regolith there. Isn't that an odd shape? So what do you suppose that was? All right, so as we wrap up, again, I'm just sharing things that I observe on the moon from this one was taken at home on a clear day. Ideal conditions, but you could do this at home as well. Get yourself a telescope, keep watching the skies, and share your results.